Hello and welcome back to Fake Gamer Bro, and if you're listening to this, I've succeeded. I finally recorded a fucking episode. I say that, except I did record a full episode, a full 1 hour episode about the topic I hope I will be able to actually record and talk about today, but it was very long and it was very boring, and I might make it a supporter bonus because I say, hey supporters, do you want my trash? Here's my trash. So if you want my trash, go to ko-fi.com/jaxyaks and give me as little as $1 a month. I mean, it'd be great if you gave me more than $1 a month, but beggars can't be choosers. So let's see how this goes. So for one, it has been approximately 3 weeks, if I have my math right, since that I've missed episodes. 3 weeks of missed episodes. It's been a month since the last one came out, which is very funny because I'm here to say that the format of Fake Gamer Bro is switching up in that I will no longer be doing guaranteed monthly long, like the long episodes, the more than 10-minute episodes. I would still like to do those. I have just been having a hard time coming up with topics and then making sure I have a good amount of research for the topics, and then that it sounds good when talked about, that I can say it in an interesting way. It's just been a lot of pressure to make sure I get it all done and get everything scheduled and get everything out. So I'm going to continue doing the weekly 10-minute episodes, and if I have an idea, then I will make a longer episode. And if we all get lucky, maybe it will still be monthly, but I just have to dial back a little bit. That out of the way, I did want to do the actual episode that I recorded and decided that it was too long because I was reading a bunch of numbers out loud because I wanted to do an episode on microtransactions. This is not like a researched YouTube essayist thing. This is just, I thought it would be fun for me to look at some different games that I've played, all of which I've talked about on the podcast at one point or another, and just kind of compare how much money you could spend on it, right? Which is hard because, you know what, I'll get into it, because there's a couple different categories of pricing. There's just a couple of different ways that these get kind of categorized. So, there are the one-time purchases. You purchase it, it's no longer there, you get either it was a limited run, like gems or whatever, or it is a permanent buff, or, purchasing to get rid of ads or whatever like that. There are daily purchases that you can purchase one or more times and it refreshes every day. Weekly, same deal. Monthly, same deal. That will also often include subscriptions. And then there are infinite, where you can just sit there and keep pressing the buy button. The infinite is tricky to talk about whenever I actually try to get down to like the numbers of it all, of how much money you could actually spend on this, because you could spend infinite money. But the way I calculated this a few different ways, and I think the best way to do it is to have a first month sum of every single one-time thing you can buy daily out to, like, if you buy the max of, again, I did this a couple of different ways. So if you buy the max of everything you can in 1 day times 30, the max of everything you can buy in 1 week times 4, and then the max of everything you can buy monthly. And then for infinite, I am only counting the highest price thing unless there are multiple categories, like if there are 2 different types of in-game currency you can purchase an infinite amount of times, then it is the highest of both of those categories. Just one a month, which is unrealistic for like the biggest whales probably, but that's what we're doing. That's what we're going with. And my kind of reasoning for that is, like, sure, there's an infinite there where you can just keep buying and buying and buying, but I think the more I don't want to say malicious, but the ones that are more likely, that are clearly using a lot of marketing tactics to explicitly to try to get you to spend more money, are the ones who do have a billion different one times, a billion different dailies, a billion different weeklies, rather than just the ones that have infinites there that you can always access, that you can always purchase. Those start to feel like, oh god, I'm really desperate, versus like, oh, well, if I buy this, then I have it forever. Or, oh, I have to make sure to buy this before the event goes away. Or anything like that. So while obviously Infinite can be a big part to wail on, especially in different games, I am just waiting it like that. So, take it with a grain of salt. The games that I am covering are Capybara Go, Infinite Minesweeper, The Tower, Fire Emblem Heroes, Merge Mare, Love and Pies, Pokemon Sleep, and Pokemon TCG Pocket. I had considered downloading, like, Genshin Impact. Yeah, so I considered downloading Genshin Impact or one of the other games that are, one of the big gacha games. But god, I don't want to make sure I have room on my phone to download that huge thing, to open it, to then, because like, part of the issue is sometimes you don't even see all the options for all the things you can buy until you get to a certain point within the game. And I'm not going to play Genshin Impact on my phone in order to get far enough to see all of that. And I don't know if there's any, just like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to trust other people's screenshots about like whatever else is out there, or lists or anything, because I don't have a way to verify it. So Fire Emblem Heroes and Capybara Go technically are the gacha games. I am going with primarily Fire Emblem Heroes, I think, is the traditional gacha, while Capybara Go is just the loot box, I think would be the better term for that. Yeah, like Capybara Go is the loot box game. So I'm actually going to start at the Pokemon The Gathering, I almost called it. I'm great with what things are called right now. Pokemon TCG Pocket. So this one is relatively simple. It has 3 different one-time purchases that are like reduced prices for normal packs, and that ends up being about $14 total. So Pokemon Pocket, which is what I'm going to call it for simplicity, only has a few one-time purchases. It has a monthly subscription, and then it has this thing that isn't monthly. It's like $22. It's a bit longer than monthly. I think it's every 2 months a new one happens for $22. So for my calculation, I just called it $11. And that brings our total to the first month. If you buy all the reduced price, if you buy the monthly, and then with the infinite, the highest price infinite you can buy is $100. So for the first month, you'd be paying $135, and every month after that, you would be paying $120. Like, it sounds like a lot. I mean, it is a lot. Like, don't spend that much money on mobile games a month, much less just one mobile game every month. I mean, I'm not your mom. If you have the money, do what you want with it. Actually, you know what? I want you guys to tell me if I said the words $135 for the first month and then $120 for every month after that, if you did the monthly and the max of the infinite. I want you to tell me if that sounds like a lot. Not for like you personally, but when you think about whaling on mobile games. If it's like, oh, with that limitation, that sounds like I'm interested, because I've been playing mobile games for too long and staring at these numbers for too long. I don't know what the vibe is with the normie. I just called you guys normies. Holy shit! What the regular vibe is for people who did not just spend a very long time staring at numbers on a screen. Pokemon Sleep, even simpler. It has a monthly subscription, and then it has one currency you can purchase, with the highest being $98. I don't know why. It's $97.99 instead of $99.99. If it's one of those, like, doesn't this look like more of a discount? I don't know. So anyway, you can spend $10 a month plus the 97, so you can spend 98, $108 a month on Pokemon Sleep. You really don't need to. You don't need that many diamonds, I promise you. For Love and Pies, and the next one I will do after Love and Pies, which is Merge Mare. These are more complicated because there will be deals that pop up for 3 hours. You have 3 hours to do it. There are things that are daily, and I think it's just once daily, and maybe it's not even daily. Maybe it's every 2 days, or maybe it's 12 hours, and I just didn't, I don't buy these, so I don't know what their refresh rate is. There are some that are very clearly marked, and there are some that are not. And then there are these tiered where you can get a pack and you get 2 things for free, and then it's 99 cents. And you purchase the 99 cents thing, and you get another 2 for free. And then the next one is $3, and you purchase that, and then you get the next 2 for free. And so I don't think for this one I was able to see the full list of the prices, so that was an issue. And then I don't know if that pops up daily or whatever. This is what I'm talking about with Love and Pies and Merge Mare. Love and Pies in particular, where they just pop up with a bunch of different ways you can buy things. Mergificent has that as a huge problem as well. So this is where the numbers get a little fudgy, but I feel like I am giving them the benefit of the doubt for more of these than I am not. Because beyond the daily, they also have what I called weekly. Yeah, it's the tip jar. So that means that if you get a certain number of gems the normal way, they also go into your tip jar, and you can spend money to open up the tip jar and get all the gems that got saved. It's like interest. And so I just said, like, you know what, it might take you a week to get there. It'll realistically probably get you less. And then monthly, they have like a battle pass, I guess you could call it. And I think that's every 2 weeks, and it's $10 each time. And so I just called it $10, twice monthly. So for the first month, and then obviously there's the infinite. Again, it's $99.99. I think Pokemon Sleep is the only one that doesn't have the max at $99.99. So every month, if you bought all the daily, all the weekly, all the monthly, and then the max of the infinite, you could spend $1,300 fucking dollars on this game. So, this is why like $110 and $120 a month is like fucking nothing, because here's Love and Pies with 10 times that amount. Merge Mare is in a similar situation where there are a bunch of daily that I am being pretty generous in saying that it is daily and not infinite, or not every 4 hours or whatever. I don't know for sure, because I don't buy these because they pop up all the goddamn time. And there might be even more that would pop up. Like, obviously, like during holidays, there are more that pop up. So again, please understand, I'm being more generous with these. I could probably like double the amount of things I have on this and be more accurate for like half the year. So there are a few dailies that I just decided to call once. There is what I call the weekly is just, it's a bank in this one, but it's the tip jar. And then it works a little differently. It's not just gems, but that's going to in the weeds. And then there's the infinite, which is a little bit different because they have an infinite line for gems and for coins. And I was wrong, because the max for Merge Mare goes up to $104.99. So that immediately makes our monthly more, because now you have to deal with 2 infinite at $100 and but that still only brings us up to 1,370, which isn't that much more than Love and Pies. Like, I don't know, Love and Pies has more of those random one-off things that will pop up for like 3 hours than Merge Mare does. So that's probably why they're so close, even though there's just way more infinite options in Merge Mare. Fire Emblem Heroes is probably the one that really kind of shows the limitation of the way I am doing this, and I feel like maybe I do need to do, I don't know, like I would like to do more of a gacha focused episode at some point. I've off and on talked about wanting to do a gacha episode. I would have to research to figure out how to research better numbers for these, because just looking at the way I've been doing of the max infinite you can do, and along with the dailies or monthlies or whatever, can just be really hard because it doesn't actually show like, okay, yeah, you did that. This is one of those where it's like, well, maybe I do because I need 20 orbs in order to summon a guy, and the smallest infinite pack only gives me 3 for $2, which is fucking nothing. And the largest infinite pack, which I was just wrong about the Pokemon Sleep. There's other weird ones too, because the largest one is $75 for 170, which isn't really that many. I also hate that it is not divisible by 20, but it's only 8 pulls, which, well, not 8 individual pulls, but I'm not going to get into it. Just say that for the most cost-effective option is to use 20 orbs on average. I'm ignoring any other special things, first pools, blah, 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 blah. 8 pools isn't a whole lot if you are really trying to go after something in a banner, especially if there are the large banners that have a lot of really good units. $75 for 8 45 pools. It's pretty ridiculous. And then there is an infinite that isn't actually an infinite. I just wasn't going to count it. I wasn't going to count how many there are. There are these things called resplendent heroes, and they are $5 each. And I think it's just a different outfit. I think maybe you also get the hero, but then it's mostly just a different outfit. It's not like these are like super great heroes you're buying. You're mostly just buying them able to have a different outfit, but not like visible in the actual game. Like the sprite doesn't change. It's just the artwork when you go look at their stats is different, and some of them really suck. And you get one of them free when you sign up for the monthly subscription, the Fire Emblem Hero Pass. But there's a lot of them right now. I would say there was at least 20. I don't know. I didn't count them. I'm just making that number up. And more gets added to it. I don't know if it's every month. It could be. And you just have to back buy all the ones that you didn't get by being a subscriber. I don't know. I don't really care about them, but there's a lot of them. And I just put it under infinite, and I counted it as its own separate thing. So in 1 month, if you buy all the monthly stuff, including the subscription pass, and you buy the max of the 2 different infinites, then you're spending about $200 a month. I will say that I don't know if their monthly stuff changes. I am pretty sure it does. So like right now, the monthly without the subscription pass is $110, and I'm pretty sure it goes higher than that. I think it's just when I was first looking at it, it was $110 for the total of all of those. And I think there's more now when I look at it. So that's just another thing. It's just like, I don't know when things change. You have to pay attention to the Fire Emblem calendar. Maybe. I don't know. But about $200. So I know people really wail on these games, especially to like really build up some characters. Because if you get copies of characters, then like that improves them and you can get their abilities off them and blah, blah, blah. I just don't think the average person is really going to be tempted to spend $75 fucking dollars on this. Whatever. Yeah, $200 a month is, I was going to say fine, but I mean, compared to like Merge Mare and Love and Pies, if you like give them everything for everything that comes up, then $200 is nothing compared to that, right? To the fucking $1,300. Then we go to the tower that a lot of the 10-minute episodes have been dedicated to, and some complaints about how there are so many one-time things, like the $10 disabled ads thing is annoying. $10 for that, I hate. I hate it, especially if there are a lot of other microtransactions you can do besides just disabling the ads. Besides disabling the ads as the one time, there are a few other things, but most notably the premium pass that is for like different chunks of levels. I don't know the numbers, but you go through like the first 30 levels will all be on one premium pass, and then the next 30 levels after that will be all on the second premium pass. And then there are these stone packs, Stone Pack 1 and 2, that I have under one time, but I don't know if those are events and they pop back up later. because it says one-time purchase on them, but again, it could come back up like every month or every couple of months or something, or it could really just be a one-time. So I just put those as one time. They're $30 and $60. I'm not going to buy those just to see if they pop back up. For the monthly, there is like a booster thing you can buy for the events that happen every 2 weeks. So I put that as it's $15 each, so $30. And then for the infinite, there is just the gems for $99.99 as the max, which is typical. So the first month you would be paying $600, and every month after that would be $130. Like, I mean, let's be real. You are not getting premium passes 1 through 8 in your first month. You might be getting up to premium pass like 2 or maybe 3 in your first month. I mean, maybe if you're wailing on it like this, you'll get higher. Like I said, you guys know how much I was playing that for a while, and I did not even get visibility to pass 7 or 8. Of course, I wasn't spending a lot of money on it, so much more manageable after that first month, which brings us to Infinite Minesweeper, which is so simple. There is a one-time $6 payment to get no forced ads. There are still optional ads, but there won't be any like, okay, well, you did some stuff, so now it's ad time for like 15 seconds. So that's a one-time $6, and then after that, there are infinite gem options, with the largest being $75. So for the first month, you are paying $81, and then after that, $75. Assuming you are just really fucking bad at Minesweeper, because you need the gems for some aesthetic stuff, and then if you don't want to watch ads, like if you fuck up, and you don't want to watch an ad to unlock that Minesweeper square again, you can pay gems instead. So like genuinely, you do not need to wail on this game unless you are very bad at it. There might be like 1 or 2 other things you can use gems on that I'm not thinking of, but like the majority of it is for aesthetic stuff, which, there's a limit to that, and then just being bad at the game, like I am. But I say YOLO and just keep moving on and destroying more other things. Capybara Go is the one that really just blew me out of the water and kind of made me want to go check out other games kind of in the similar genre or even by the same company, because it's fucking insane how much money you can spend on this game. There are a shit ton of different packs for chapters that you can buy that go just increase so much in price. There are other one-time packs for some of the many in-game currencies that there are to offer. Just so many in-game currencies. There are also different permanent cards, like the ad-free card, or which is $10, and I did buy it, and I complained about it on the tower, but I did buy it. I'm a hypocrite, so fucking sue me. And the lifetime card, which doesn't fucking mean anything. Like, a lifetime card feels like you can either pay this amount a month, or you can just pay this for life, right? That's not how it works. I don't know why they call it a lifetime card. I feel like it is to trick you. There are they have like 4 or 5 different types of battle passes, and each have their own monetization. I am pretty sure, from what I can tell, 2 of the battle passes, one of them only has 2 stages and then no more, and then one of them only has 1 stage. So I put those under one time, the first one for each stage, because I'm pretty sure that they're just like one-off battle passes that don't continue, but I could be wrong. So again, I did not buy them, so I don't know. And then it has one actual, like, oh God, I don't even know what to call it. Like, there's pets, and there's mounts, and then there's these, there's summons, and then there's these other things, okay? Maybe this is sort of a summon, but that you can actually buy. You can't, just outright buy any of the other pets or mounts or summons or whatever the fuck else. You can buy this one, though, of just one of the types. Yeah, and then for daily, there's just so many fucking daily, especially for all the currency. For weekly, oh my god. Weekly was very hard because there are different events that happen every week. There are what are called growth events that are on a either 3 or 2 week cycle. So those are pretty standard, what you can buy from those every week. But it kind of gets confusing between the weekly and the monthly, because some of it's like, I think this might last for 2 weeks. I'm not 100% sure. I think this sort of event comes up like every month and a half, but I'm not pretty sure. So again, for the most part, I feel like I have been generous on how often I'm saying these are coming up. They might be coming up more quickly. There might even be more events that I am not thinking of to put down here, right? Like there was one event as I was originally making these numbers where a new event came up. And I don't know how often those happen, because the last one happened about 2 months ago, but I don't know for sure because this game has only been out since last November, and that you could spend a shit ton more money at. And of course, there are infinites. And I think what's really important to point out about the weekly and monthly is a lot of time for weekly and monthly stuff, you can buy those like 1 or 2 times every week. For these, there's one monthly that you can buy 99 times. Like, I don't know why they didn't just make it infinite, but they didn't. They said you could buy it 99 times a month, which is, which I had considered, because they have, like, event packs. Like, I just labeled them as event pack 1 through 10, and they look on the surface, especially if you're just looking at my spreadsheet, that they function similarly to the infinite, in which case, okay, well, why would you buy the dollar one? If you already know you're going to be spending money on it, then you would buy the $99.99. But some of these packs sometimes have different things on them, not just a greater number of things, right? It's not just like one will give you 10 gems and one will give you 100 gems. It is that one will give you 10 gems, one will give you 10 gems and some eggs, and one will give you 10 gems and some horseshoes or what the fuck ever, right? So I am counting those as separate. And then yeah, there's 2 types of infinite, one for just the gems and one for the silver coins, which is kind of funny that again, like there's a monthly one that goes up to, you can buy 99 times, and then there is a weekly one that you can buy infinitely. So I don't get it. So for the first month, which kind of like for the tower, you are not going to get through all of these chapters in your first month, but assuming in your first month you are able to buy every single one-time purchase, and then every day you bought all of the dailies you possibly could, and every week you bought all of the weeklies you possibly could, and every month you bought all of the monthlies you possibly could, and then once a month you bought one of each infinite, the max of each infinite. You could spend almost $44,000 on this fucking game. $44,000. And when I told you I was being generous, I meant I was being generous. There are some events that are not listed here that might have been happening monthly. I did not, try to add in stuff that, oh, well, I haven't seen this sort of event pop up, monthly. It's been like 2 or more months since this happened last time. So I decided to get some more numbers for this, and I'm not going to go over them all. But at that, to be clear, that is for your first month. But I didn't even bother calculating what it would be for every month after that, because your first month total, if you only bought all of the one-time things, it's 1,200, which is not really going to put much of a dent into the almost 44,000. So then I switched it where you only bought one of each daily and weekly thing. So the dailies and weeklies that you can buy, so then I had the numbers where you only bought one of each daily, weekly, monthly thing, instead of being able to buy 99 of the 99.99 packs. If you only bought one of each of those, and as you can imagine, that changes the number quite a lot. Now, for your first month, you will be only spending about $6,000, and then $4,700 for every month after that if you just buy one of each daily, weekly, and monthly. Which is still pretty fucking crazy. It is still crazy that even if you only bought one of each, you could spend $6,000. So I decided, okay, no, I need to try to make this a little bit more reasonable, because even though I gave the justifications of why I counted each of the different like event packs or silver coin packs or whatever that you can get weekly or monthly or daily. Let's say you only bought one every month. Like you only bought one of each daily every month, one of each weekly every month. So, not multiplying it by 30 or 4, just one of each. So your first month brings it down from almost 6,000 to the much more reasonable 2,700. And then about 1,500 every month after that, which is more than Merge Mare, which is our second highest Merge Mare at a smidge under 1,400 a month. It's crazy. So it's just like I kind of want to do Archero or some other stuff just to look at the numbers, but I am not going to do 2 episodes where I read off extremely similar numbers. If you want to know what your first month of purchases could be on all of these games, let me summarize it for you. So I'm doing the Capybara Go numbers where it was buying one of each pack each day instead of the absolute max. So going from lowest to highest is for your first month, since we're including one-time purchases, Infinite Minesweeper, you would only be spending $81. Pokemon Sleep, you'd be spending $108. Pokemon Pocket, you'd be spending $135 for your first month. Fire Emblem Heroes is $201. Then there's the Tower at $600. And then we over double that with Love and Pies at $1,300, Merge Mare at almost $1,400, and then Capybara Goddamn Go at $6,000 goddamn dollars for your first month, with it only going down like $1,200 the second month. Crazy. Merge Mare did surprise me at having the highest infinite at $104.99. I don't know why you would do that. $99.99 seems to be like the reasonable max for stuff. So then you have Pokemon Sleep just countering it with $97.99. So it feels like, oh, this is cheaper than other things. I don't know why you would go above that for an infinite thing, especially. And for one times, obviously, Capybara Go still takes the cake on that. But I do think it's crazy that on the Tower, just the one times will net you $478. Like, you will have to spend $470 goddamn dollars on it. That's crazy. The Tower, you don't need to be charging people that much. I'm not a financial expert on things. I'm just a humble, poor person who likes mobile games. But, for someone who doesn't have a lot of money, who definitely can't be the person who wails on this, has to be, if I'm going to spend money, I have to be like a lot more choosy with it. I just get so immediately turned off by these higher prices. There are so many things that I would spend. Clearly I spent $10 in Capybara Go, and I have no idea why I justified that and not for the Tower to get rid of ads. I think with the Tower, it just got to a point where I wanted to see how far I could go without spending money on it. And then I accidentally spent money on it because just dumb lagging and fumbles and stuff on the fucking iPhone that got me to confirm a purchase that is like, well, I guess I have this now, and it's not even the ad-free thing. Some of these are just so clearly a bad deal. Like, I will never get that, like, for Fire Emblem Heroes, the least amount of orbs you can buy is 3, but the least amount of orbs that you could use on a summon is 5, unless you get the first summon for free. Like, you do with all the banners, you get the first summon for free, and then it just gives you the normal discount on the rest, as though you did spend 5 gems. But even then, if you get the first summon for free, the next summon is 4 orbs. I said gems, I meant orbs. So, like, even buying the cheapest thing, you're not getting enough for the discounted summon, and it's crazy. And I'm looking at, like, there's currently a weekly, they actually call it Capybara Gacha, Cappy Gacha or whatever, in the game. It's really not a gacha. It's still more like a loot box. And it's like $1 for 2 coins. And in order to get the guaranteed best prize, you have to use 500 coins. Like, I mean, you get them other ways. You can get them even when the event's not going on. They save over to other events, so you can just hoard 500 until you have time, which is what I ended up doing. But if you just straight up, so just to make just to clarify my point, I did the math really quick on the silver coins that you need 500 in order to get like get the guaranteed top prize, which you can get the top prize earlier than that. It is RNG. It's just in order to like be 100% sure you get the top prize, you would need to use 500 coins, which again is less of a big deal because this is I think it's a weekly event. Yeah, it's a weekly event and it rolls over. So if you have 200 coins one week, you will have 200 coins the next week and be able to build off of that. So I did the math real quick, just to further drive my point home. And if you had 0 coins and just didn't have a way, so I spent way too long on the math for this just because I was trying to be as accurate as possible. And for the Cappy Gacha event, to get silver coins, just in the event period, there are ways to get silver coins elsewhere, but it's really not cost effective, unless they come from rewards from certain whatever. Let's just focus on what you can get within the event. If you start with 0, you can get 2 from an ad, and then there are quests where you can get more. You can get more. You know what? I already did the math. You can get more, but the point is that after you do the quest, after you get the ones with the ads, you would still have to spend. You would still have to buy every single pack up to the $99.99 infinite pack, which gets you 130, and then you would still have 30 that you needed to get, and you've already used up all of the other packs. So you would have to buy another for $100 to get that final 30 coins. Let's say that you did get 30 coins from somewhere else, just to be extra nice. That would still mean you have spent $400. It's ridiculous. And the thing is it breaks all like laws of logic. I think especially for me as someone who enters price changes for a living. So it's just like, yeah, if you order more of something, then you might have to pay less, for each individual thing. I mean, it's like you buy things in, it makes no logical sense for like, you buy stuff in packs. It costs less than if you bought it individually. That is the rule of things. But for the cheapest, for 99 cents for 3, that is 33 cents a coin. For 130 for 99.99, you are paying 77 cents a coin. Like it truly is meant to kind of make you go up through the ranks, because it makes more sense to start with the lowest because you're getting the most bang for your buck instead of just being able to buy, I mean, again, you can just buy the highest one, but anyway, it's just ridiculous. I know that they need to make money off their games. I never want to stop people from making money off their games or whatever creations, but I am not the first to say that microtransactions have gone way too far. I did not think I would be saying that you could spend $44,000 on your first month playing a game without even taking infinite things into account, without even wailing on the things you can buy over and over forever, right? Even taking out the one that you can buy 99 of, which is crazy because it's 99. Yes, 99, 99, 99 different times. I mean, even taking that out, that's still like over, that's still $34,000, right? It is a crazy amount to be able to spend on a game that, still tries to make it seem like it's being reasonable by giving you caps, but you can only buy this one time, you can only buy this 3 times. Because of course it's the $1 ones, it's the $5 ones, it's the $10 ones you can only buy a very limited number of times, while the higher up you go in price, the more likely that you can buy it a lot more times. And it was just never so blatant until I sat down and did these numbers. I don't know what to say. I am a defender of mobile games. I'm a defender of spending money on mobile games. I'm a defender of gacha games. I'll be fucking real. I get very mad at gacha game discourse, which is why I've brought it up several times. I would actually like to do an episode on gacha, but I'm a defender of things. To an extent, I'm a defender of microtransactions, but this has genuinely blown my mind. Like, I was expecting a lot from the Merge Mayor and the Love and Pies and like those kind of types of games where there are always pop-ups about one-offs that you can buy. And it's the same in Capybara Go. I probably miss some one-offs that you can buy every day or every few days or however often it happens. There is something genuinely wrong if, without buying any infinite and just going to the max that you are allowed to buy, because they set limitations for you to make it seem like they were being reasonable and saying, well, you can only buy this many, that you can still spend 5 digits. In a month, in your first month, you can spend a teacher's salary on this game. And I don't know, I don't know what to say to that, You shouldn't be able to spend this much money on a game. Like, especially if you're not even touching the infinites. Especially if you're not even touching the stuff that they say that you can just go wild, go fucking ham on this. It's just a section of, our current society that no one's figured out how to handle yet, right? We don't know if we should regulate it. And if we should regulate it, how do we regulate it? Like, that's the big problem with mobile games right now. Like, even, like, video games in general are a new phenomenon, much less video games when you are able to do live updates and loot boxes and stuff like that. But mobile games, even more so. Like, you can watch a trailer for a console or PC video game, and you will know if they are showing you something that is actually in the game, or if they are showing you a cutscene, or if they are showing you an artistic rendering of what's going to be in the game. And on mobile games, they can just lie to you. They can lie to you in the advertisement. They can lie to you in the screenshots. They can lie to you in the description. And I don't know why. I actually kind of a little bit frustrated because I sent in a question to a video game podcast where they're like actually like video game journalists, not like they're also doing it for a hobby, but like they had professional experience in video games. But I asked, like, do you know why mobile game ads are allowed to mislead and straight up lie about stuff? And it was just this general idea. It's like, well, that's just mobile games. Like, that's just what mobile games do. And it was like, okay, but like, what regulations happen to video games that aren't happening to mobile games, right? And microtransactions, like, we saw loot boxes, fucking EA doing loot boxes, and that was fucking terrible, and we got them to stop doing that. And I'm not saying that there aren't still, like, desktop or console games you can whale on, but it's just like, we don't care as much about mobile games because that's just the mobile game culture now. Is just like, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of microtransactions. There's going to be a bunch of ads. You're going to have to pay a stupid amount of money to get rid of ads if you even can. If it even is just a one-time thing, or if you have to sign up for a subscription. Like, some of the one-time things are crazy. I just started this one game that has ads as an integral part of, like, its missions, its events, its battle passes. You get stuff for doing things that you have to watch ads to do. But don't worry, you can get rid of the ads where you can just click on it and get what it is, and you don't have to ever watch an ad ever again. And we're even discounting it for you. I don't know if that's just a newbie bonus or if they're just making up a discount, because the discount is still $18. Like, they're trying to say that it's 50% off at fucking like $18, $19, and it's not I wouldn't pay that if it was on desktop, for that type of game. I wouldn't pay $20 to play the type of game that they are giving me. That is a reskin of a different game. That is just, I don't know. I don't want to get too in the weeds with it. It's just an honorable mention because I just downloaded that to play it today. Honorable mention that I'm not even mentioning the name of because it genuinely doesn't matter. Because it's just another example of just like, I want people to respect mobile games. I want people to play mobile games. I want people to make mobile games. But it is so hard when there is a minefield of like, this is a fun game, but once you hit level 20, you have to watch ads or pay money in order to progress. This is a fun game, except for after every level or every other level, you have to watch a 30-second ad. There is no way to get rid of it, or there is a way, but it is $10 a month. Um, and and then people just don't want to pay for games, period. So there would be a fun game that comes out that is only costing $4 that is just like way less than what it should cost for what goes into it, and no one wants to, and people don't want to buy it because they don't think of having to buy mobile games. Those are the things that are for free, and God forbid that they cost $15 or $20 or more for like games that should, games that would cost that much on the PC, or even cost more on the PC or the console or whatever, and then on mobile they have to mark it down as less, and even still people don't want to spend that because who wants to spend that much money on just to get a mobile game? These are the things that should be free. And I don't know. I think this whole thing kind of gets at the core concept of my podcast in a way, and just like has me poking at what a mobile game is and just how kind of sad it is. Because like there's a lot of cool like mobile games out there that are doing a lot of cool, interesting things, and a lot of them are free, or a lot of them you only have to pay like $3, or a lot of them like free with ads, and then you pay like $5 or whatever. And I want all of those games doing a bunch of weird, interesting things, but sometimes I just want a match 3, or I want a merge game, like a board merge game, or I don't know, I do want a sort of gotcha-esque game. And there's just a lot of like really cool, simple concepts for games that you just say, well, that is the type of game that you are going to get ads for. That is the type of game that is going to try to drain money from you, and everyone knows it, and it's a joke, right? Like there's PC games about this joke of it being a lie of the games you can play, or it being too ad riddled or everything for anyone to actually want to play. And I don't know, I'm rambling a lot more about this than I intended to. I just really wanted to wrap this up. I thought I was going to be able to get this into 30 minutes, and that didn't happen. I don't know, I'm just $40,000, man, 44,000 fucking dollars, or even if I do the more generous $5,000 for the first month, like that's insane. And I guess I'm still just processing of how much money that is for even my most generous estimates of what you could pay for the first month, or what you could pay monthly. And I have to share that with you, and I hope that I'm able to to have more chill, just our 10-minute short ones in the future, or have you know if you guys have other ideas you want me to tackle, let me know. And I can make another monthly episode out of them, though I might try to wait until I can actually get someone to come on and co-host with me, instead of running into scheduling issues and other issues, which is, like I said, another reason why I'm not doing these monthly anymore, so I don't have to worry about making sure to get all the scheduling much more down pat, or else I'm just talking to myself for an hour. Thank you all for listening. Let me know what mobile games you're playing. Let me know what I should play. I think I don't know. Hopefully I'll stop playing Capybara Go soon. It's very addicting. I'm having a hard time. I really like it. And also hate everything that it stands for. Holy shit. But I don't know. Let me know what you want to see out of the podcast. If you have any ideas for longer episodes you'd like us to cover, me to cover, whoever to cover. And yeah, I will see you next week.
Thank you to Dami for composing the theme song and editing the episode. You can find more of her work at soundcloud.com/dominothief. Shout out to our fakest fan tier supporters, Danny the Spoonlord and Tezrak. You can become a supporter and receive early episodes and bonus content for as little as $1 a month over at ko-fi.com/jaxyaks, or simply give a one-time tip. For information on and links to my other projects, head over to jaxyaks.com. Thanks again for listening.